allowing the eyes to close or the eye gaze to soften. And then allowing your breath just to flow gently. Not trying to control it in any way, just feeling it and enjoying it. It's only natural that thoughts will be probably in your mind right now, having a busy morning, and always takes a little bit of time to come into almost a peaceful space in your brain. But see if you can watch those thoughts. Just watch them come, watch them go. Try not to think too much about the details of the thoughts or attach emotional content to it. Today we are going to focus on bringing a little bit of care into your day. When we care for others, we open up our hearts to help those family, friends, acquaintances, even loved ones that need our care. It's our acts of kindness and caring that encourage them and means so much, not only to those that we help, but to ourselves, as we get an element of joy from seeing the comfort that we can offer to others. Caring can often make us realise how our own good fortune is bestowed upon us. It helps us to find gratitude and empathy. So it's always such an amazing thing to do, to light up someone's day whenever you can. Any act of kindness, any way that you have of showing you care. But it's also important to make time to care for yourself, not just other people. And that's often something that we forget about. So right now, you can say to yourself, I care for myself, and I care for others. Start to feel that warm glow in your heart centre. I care for myself, and I care for others. So now, keeping that in mind, if you're seated, make your way down onto your back. And then everyone, just draw your knees in towards your chest and give them a little hug. That's our first act of kindness to ourselves. Is that gentle hug, maybe a little rock from side to side. And gently lift your head off the floor, bring your nose towards your knees. Squeeze your legs in a little bit closer to your chest, and then feel your belly pull down towards the floor. Gently lower your head, lower your shoulders. Take your feet down to the ground. And then lifting your right leg up towards the ceiling, hold on to the back of the thigh or the back of the calf. And just gently draw the leg towards you to begin opening up the back of your leg. Your other leg can slide flat to the floor if you wish. And then point and flex your foot. You might notice your calf contracting as you point the toe and lengthening as you draw the toes towards the shin. Relax the foot again, lift the leg up and out of the hip socket, and then just draw the leg in towards your chest again. Intensifying that hamstring stretch. Now it's taking hold of the outside of the leg with the opposite hand. Draw the leg across your body towards the left side without your hips lifting up off the floor. Now here you can bend your knee if you wish to. That's all good. Now we're going to pass the leg over to the other hand and let it fall to the right side. Again, keeping your hips still. So if you wish to, you can bend the knee again, place the foot to the floor for a little bit more control. And then we're just going to pass the leg over as you inhale, as you exhale. Draw the femur into the socket of your hip. Passing it back over to the right side as you inhale. As you exhale, roll the thigh and the shin towards the floor so the heel lifts towards the ceiling. We're going to do that again. As you pass the leg back over, we're rolling the leg inwards, so a little internal rotation towards the centre of the body. And as we pass it back to the right side, we're externally rotating the leg as it goes external to the body. Gently bring the leg back in, swap them over. So we're going to take the left leg up to the ceiling. Let's just start by finding a gentle length in the back of the hamstring. Noticing if both sides of your hips are evenly placed on the floor. Start to move at the ankle, point the toe, flex the foot. Doesn't matter if you need to move your leg a little bit further away from your hamstring stretch. We never have to force ourselves into a place that we don't feel ready to be in. It's another way that we can care for ourselves, care for our well-being, and care for our sanity a little by not holding too high an expectation. Allow the foot to relax. Just draw the leg gently into the body in. Breathing in, lift all the way up the back of your hamstring, up your calf. Breathing out, relax the muscles, relax the tightness. Pass the leg over into your right hand towards the right side. Feeling that stretch travel all the way down the outer hip. And then passing back over to the left side. And then choosing to bend the knee where your body needs it or when your body needs it. Crossing the leg back over as you inhale. As you exhale, maybe even hold your hip down a little with your left hand. Inhaling, pass the leg back over. Exhale, let it get heavier. And then one more time, rolling the leg inwards. It goes towards and across the midline of the body. Opening out for one last time. And turning the leg back in towards the centre. Then I'm going to roll over onto the side. In fact, actually, onto your front to begin with. Then you lift the forehead to the floor. Take your arms out to the sides so they're roughly level with the rib cage. Rolling over onto your left side, bring your right hand in towards the chest to help assist roll you over. Then your right leg can bend and slide the foot towards your left hand. Doesn't have to get there, doesn't have to go anywhere near, or you can even keep the leg just stacked over the other leg if you wish. But if you are bending the top knee, try and focus on squeezing your butt cheek until you feel the front of your hip and your quad lengthening. If you feel any irritation in your lower back, then engage your belly a little bit more. Rolling over onto your front, sliding your right hand outside, your left hand in, and roll over onto your right side. Bending the left knee, sliding it as far around as feels nice. So you're a little rolling out of the floor. The opening of the body towards the ceiling. And your right hand presses down into the floor firmly through every single part of your fingertips. Through your thumbs, through the bit where your calluses go on your hands. Rolling back onto your front again. Sliding the left hand out, bringing the right hand in, taking the right leg up and over towards your left side. This time, if you wish, take your right hand and find your right ankle and add in a deeper stretch through your quad. Rolling back onto your front, swapping sides. Taking as much time as you need. Letting it feel yummy in your body. This time the left leg slides around, finds the left ankle with the left hand. Roll that shoulder blade back and down your back as well. Maybe play around with squeezing your healing a little bit closer to your bum, or just kick the foot into the hands a little if you need a little bit more space around the front of the kneecap. But maybe just slide your knee behind your hip a bit more, create the length and space. Let's go one more time on each side, so gently release. Rolling back onto your front, so picking whichever option works for you. If you notice your knee is lifting up towards the sky, just tuck it down a little bit more. One more breath in here, explore the space, one more breath out. Rolling onto your front, swapping sides. Managed to roll myself down half my mat, I think. Breathing space into your chest. Loosening any tension there as well as in your hips. Gently release, rolling onto your front. Slide your hands level with your chest, find a gentle cobra, and then push back into child's pose, taking the knees wide, the feet together, sliding the hands a little bit further on the floor if it feels good. Inhaling up onto the hands, upward cat. Exhale down the cat, round the spine, tuck the chin. Breathing in, sliding the chest forward, drawing the shoulder blades back. Breathing out, finding the space between each part of your spine. On your next exhale, find child's pose. Walk your hands a little bit further along the floor, then take your eye gaze to the fingertips. Striking cobra, slide your chest between your arms. Either keep the hips down or lift into upward dog. Downward dog as you exhale. Lift the hips high, bending each knee one at a time, dropping the opposite heel to the floor to pedal. Right leg then lifts up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. At the top, bend the knee, open the hip, square your shoulders to the floor. Step the foot forwards, roughly where your hand was, to a lunge. Take a twist towards your right side. Awesome, keep the hips down. Feel free to drop the knee down here if you wish. Release the hand to the ground. Lift the knee if it's down, pull the hips back into pyramid. You can walk the hands up a little higher onto the shins if you wish. Breathing in, find your lunge, press your hip down, create that hip extension with a little squeeze of the bum and then lifting of your hip bones towards the bottom of your rib cage. Now stepping back into downward dog. So nice and simple. The left leg rises on the inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the knee at the top, open the hip. Imagine it trying to touch the opposite butt cheek with the foot. Step the foot forwards between your hands, roughly where your hand was. Take the twist as you exhale, keep the spine long. Pyramid as you inhale, pull the hips up and back. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Inhale, bend the knee. Lunge. Really reach out the heel of your right leg. Rolling the hip square down to the floor. Oh, turning this time to the long edge of your mat. So your legs are still wide. Adjust your feet as you need more onto the diagonals of the mat. Side lunge. Shifting side to side, so you may want to be a little bit higher. Or you can walk your hands down along the floor. Take a look. We're going to keep the bend into one knee, lift the toes of the other leg, and then pull the hip back a little bit more to drop the bum towards the floor, and then switch over So you can be high here, you don't have to be low. Just get this thigh rolling outwards and then roll it inwards as we travel over, roll it out again. This thigh rolls inwards here, and then we roll it outwards as the toes lift. Roll it inwards to place the foot back down. If it feels better, hands onto the floor to take the weight out of the heel. And you can almost pretend that you're being a little sneaky animal of some description. Awesome. When you're back to the direction of the mat that you started, turn back around, step back into downward dog. Inhale to plank. Then either on the toes or on the knees, exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come forwards again, breathing into plank. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in, mid-back squeezes, breathing out, downward dog. Right leg rises on the inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the knee at the top, open the hip. Step the foot forwards towards the hands, lunge as wide as you want to make it. Twist as you exhale, rotate your chest in, draw the top arm back. Pyramid as you inhale, hand down on shin on floor, pull the hips back, press down through the center of your foot, or the ball of the foot, inner edge of the foot, there we go. Inhale again to lunge, lengthen the back leg as much as you can until you feel the hips sink and the hip bones lifting up. Straight into your side lunge from here. So either choosing to keep the feet down the whole time as you shift to the other side, or lifting the toes at the edge and exploring that space in the inner thigh. Come back to the front of your mat. Step back into downward dog. Left leg rises. Inhale, exhale, bend the knee at the top, open the hip. Step the foot forwards as you inhale, lunge. Take the twist as you exhale, squeeze the top shoulder blade down. Inhale to pyramid. Breathing that length up the back of the leg, sucking the belly in. Maybe lifting the heel of the right foot a little bit higher. Inhale into lunge, deep as you can. Search for sensation. Nothing that feels bad, something that feels amazing. Side lunge, turn to the long edge of your mat. Pick where you want to be, high or low. Shift over to the back of your mat. Maybe lift the toes. Shift back to where you came from. Nice inner thighs spread wide and open. Turn to the short edge of your mat. This time step forwards, forward fold. Take your feet to a comfortable distance to balance evenly between both edges of your body. Rolling up to stand on the inhale. Take the arms overhead. Open the chest into a little back bend. Keep lifting the front of your belly, front of your rib cage upwards. Returning back to upright, take your right hand down to your right foot. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Squeeze the heel towards your bum. Then you can either stay here or take your hand round so you're holding the inner edge of the foot. Kick the leg back and up into dancer's pose. If you wish to hold on anywhere, you're welcome to. Keep squaring your right hip down towards the floor. Keep lifting your abdominals up to the bottom of your rib cage. Nice, taking a long step back, turn to the long edge of your mat, feet hip distance, not hip distance, feet turn out on the diagonal, that's what I meant to say. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips down a little bit more. So we're using that inner thigh strength to slide the knees out and hold that strong position. Goddess pose. There's something about goddess pose that does feel challenging, but it feels empowering at the same time. Circle the hands behind the back. Clasp them, take a breath in, lift and open the chest. Breathing out, push the knuckles down towards the floor. Also, stepping back to the short edge of your mat. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Find a back bend if it feels good, but lift your whole torso up out of the hips. Stacking the shoulders over the hips again. Take the left hand down, lift the left foot off the floor, find that ankle. Just get that stretch through the front of the quad first of all. Sliding the front of your knee down or the whole of the front of your thigh down. Either choosing to stay there or place your thumb around the base of your big toe. Kick the leg into the hand. Dancer's pose. Now just imagine that your chest is still spreading open. You can feel the squeeze through the center of your back, supporting your back bend. Take a big lift upwards through every part of your body. And then take a long step back, goddess pose. Screw your feet into the ground, take a breath in. Lift the arms to a comfortable position overhead. As you breathe out, sit the hips back a little. So you feel the weight through 60% through your heels, 40% through the front of your foot. Arms circle behind. Take a big breath in, all the way up the front of the body. Roll the shoulder blades back, breathing out from the gentle back bend here. Keep pressing your knees outwards, feel the inner thigh strength. Gently rise, stepping to the front of your mat, breathing in, arms overhead. Back bend if you wish, breathing out, forward fold. Knees bend as much as you need to come down. Step or jump back to plank as you inhale. As you exhale, knees or toes lower. Inhaling into your upward dog, exhale into downward dog. Right leg lifts on the inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the knee at the top, open the hip, keep reaching down into your hands so your arms lengthen further. Step the foot forwards to lunge, take it as wide as you want or as narrow as you wish. Take the twist to your right. Pyramid, pull the hips up and back. Almost drag the front foot up towards your hip. Lunge, chest forward, spine long. This time drop the knee towards to the floor. Walk your right foot over to the left side of your mat and then drop your knee down towards your right wrist and we come into swan. So here you can then drop down into your right butt cheek, bend the back knee, have both knees bent and fold forwards, or just adjust your legs into a position that feels comfortable and good for your hips, with the hips square towards the floor. Deep stretch through your glute. If you wish to stay there a bit longer, you can. Or lift your chest off the floor, bend the back knee, reaching back, find the stretch through your quad. Again, if you wish to, you can sit your bum down, but still focus on getting that extension through the front of the hip, which means that you feel the stretch through your hip flexor a little bit more there. Everyone lift your chest up a little bit more, so we're active through the abdominals. Then just roll your foot out away from the center of your body, and then maybe roll it in, roll it out, roll it in, then one more time outwards. You might even notice that travel around the outer part of the front of the hip a little bit more when it goes out. That's your internal rotators. And then back, across to the center, and then back into your quad stretch where it feels the best. Gently release. Bring your hands onto the floor, tuck the toes of the left foot, lift your hips up, step back into downward dog, pedaling the feet up and down. Let's get a little bit of movement into the outer part of your right hip again. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees or toes lower, keep the thighs squeezed, keep the belly squeezed. Inhale into upward dog, exhale into downward dog. Left leg rises on the inhale. Three-legged dog, bend the knee at the top, open the hip, explore this now. Just let the inner thighs be long and open. Step the foot forwards into your lunge. Keeping everything long through the spine, twist. Legs stay still. Hand down, pyramid. Pulling up, almost pushing the feet into the ground to pull up into the pelvis. Lunge. This time dropping the back knee to the floor, walking the left foot over to the right side. Bringing the outer edge of your left knee to the floor. Finding your swan. A little shake of the hips to nestle you into position. And climbing down onto the forearms or reaching the arms fully out in front of you. Allowing breaths to be really deep, soothing. And long on the way out in particular. Can you tune into the tiny little sensations that you feel around your hips? All those little sensations, the tingling, the feeling of like your muscles even just throbbing a little. Imagine that that's you bringing care into yourself. The feeling of nutritious goodness in your hips. And then choosing to stay here a little bit longer, or walk your hands up. And as you lift your torso up, just feel this length here through the back of the leg of the front, even of the longer leg. Yeah, and then bend the knee, find the stretch through the quad. Adjust in your body how you need to, so it feels yummy and delicious and not awkward or uncomfortable. And then you don't have to add the quad stretch in if you don't want to. Maybe just rolling the foot away from the centre of the body, so you get a little bit more of the feeling of the thigh rolling inwards. Rolling the leg out, or in, rather, back to out. In, one more time each side. And finding your quad stretch one last time. Gently release. So from here, you're going to roll over onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And take your arms wide, a little roll of your hips side to side. So either the feet on the floor or the feet off the ground. And one final back bend. Feet hip distance apart for bridge. Squeezing the bum, lifting the hips up off the floor. Clasping the hand or underneath if that's comfortable for your shoulders. Or you're welcome to place your hands under your butt cheek and just find some support for your hips. But if you can, just climb your shoulders a little bit closer together. Hug your belly into the ribs. Slide your sternum over towards the chin. And feel it space through the front of the hips, through the thighs. Maybe even lifting the heels and walking the feet in if you wish to. Gently pressing down into the ground. As you inhale, as you exhale, find your greatest expression of this pose. And then slowly rolling your spine down. Release the hands. Hug the knees into the chest. And then lift the feet up into happy baby pose. Taking the feet, the calves, all the thighs. And you're welcome to finish here. However you wish, maybe stretch your legs out to deepen the inner thigh stretch. Maybe find a double hamstring stretch with the legs together. Sit bones sliding away from your torso. Or just staying happy baby. Just 2 more gentle breaths here. And place your feet onto the floor. Choosing a comfortable position. Just to spend a few moments in, acknowledging every sensation in your body. observing the calmness of your breath. And reminding yourself how important it is to care for your body and your mind. Breathing in, I care for myself. Breathing out, and I care for others. Breathing in, I care for myself. Breathing out, and I care for others. Taking 3 final breaths. And then slowly bringing your awareness back into your physical body. Making some gentle movements and then allowing those movements to get bigger and bigger. Giving your body what it needs in this moment. And then slowly, in your own time, in your own way, make your way back up to seated.